Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That is THEOREM this site, and today's lecture will be about triangles and their properties. This will be an overview of types, various types of triangles based on the sides and angles, the properties, special lines, and some theorems. Okay, and in the end, we will discuss the real life applications of triangles. So we will continue with our lecture and start with the definition of a triangle. So, what is a triangle? So, to answer this question, we have to know certain things. That what is an edge? Edge will be the side. You can see on your screen that this moving arrow is moving on the edge or the side. So, any polygon which have three edges, and it should be a closed image. It is an two-dimensional image, so it can be drawn on a piece of paper and on a plane. Now, second thing is vertex. This pointy head of any uh, joining two lines is known as vertex. So, any closed figure which have three vertices is known as triangle. So, in conclusion, a polygon with three edges and three vertices is known as triangle. Now, the types of triangle by sides. There are three in this case, named as equilateral triangle, all having same sides. Okay? Three sides, all are equal. Now, isosceles triangle, two sides equal, and third can be different. Scalene, all sides are different. Okay, so we will see it by the diagram. Now, here you can see equilateral triangle. All three sides are equal. Here, this cut mark represents the equal sides. Okay, so it will be all three sides are equal. In isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. In scalene triangle, no side are equal, that you can see by this diagram. Now, the second way to divide triangles is by angles. If we can see that there are three types in this case, named as acute triangle, right triangle, and obtuse triangle. Going to one by one to all of these. Acute triangle having all angles less than 90 degree, and in the right triangle one angle is exactly 90 degree. Okay, so it will be known as right triangle. Now in the obtuse, one angle is more than 90 degree. We can see this by this diagram. Acute, all angles are less than 90 degree. Here we can see this angle is less than 90 degree. This angle is also less than 90 degree, and so is the case with this one. So hence we can conclude this is an acute triangle. In the right triangle, one angle is 90 degree. Of course, there cannot be true two right angles in a triangle. Well, you can see this by drawing your own a triangle having two right angles. It is not possible. So, so this square shape represents this is a 90 degree angle. Now, moving forward to the obtuse, one angle is more than 90 degree. So, obviously, other two will be less than 90 degree. So, this angle is more than 90 degree, hence named as obtuse triangle. Now, we will come to properties of triangle. We will discuss two properties: sum of angles. Sum of all angles, interior angles of triangle is equal to 180 degree. Okay. Here we are not dealing with the exterior angles. We are dealing only with the interior angles. Focus on this. Interior angles. So sum of all these three interior angles is equal to always 180 degree. Now, second property is exterior angle property. An exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of opposite interior angles. We will discuss these by our diagrams. Now, angle sum property, which states that in any triangle named as ABC, all the sum of these angles is 180 degree. How we can prove this? We can prove this by drawing a line parallel to BC from A. So here PQ is parallel to BC. We can see by this whole line on one line, if we take any point, then the sum of angles will be 180 degree. That is PAC plus CAB plus BAP will be 180 degree because this constitutes a line. So a line will always be equal to 180 degree. Now the case comes here. See, these three angles are marked here. So to represent that, angle QAC is equal to angle BCA. Hence, in the similar case, the angle CBA is equal to BAP. So we will mark here two cuts. So these two angles represent these two are equal. So we can say that angle A, angle B, angle C will also constitute to 180 degree. Okay. Now we will come to exterior angle theorem. In the exterior angle theorem, we can see that exterior angle, that is E, in this angle from here to here, color coded as yellow and blue. So these two constitutes which angles? This one, this blue one, and B. So A plus B equal to E. Okay, so this is exterior angle property or exterior angle theorem of any triangle. Now we will come to our next heading, that is special lines in triangles. There are various types of special lines in triangle. If we say median, it is a line segment that joins vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. If we say altitude, the perpendicular segment from a vertex to the line containing the opposite side. This is a perpendicular segment. Now, angle bisector, that splits an angle into two halves, and the perpendicular bisector, a line that perpendicular to a side of the triangle at its midpoint. So, we will discuss all these lines of triangle from this diagram. So, let us focus on the red line. Okay, so let me explain you this. This is a triangle, and if we see only this red line, then this red line is the midpoint of this base. This base line's midpoint is what? This red line. And uh, if we see this red line, this goes directly from the midpoint. Hence, it is known as perpendicular bisector. It is perpendicular to this base. Okay, so it is also going from the midpoint and it is perpendicular to the base. Okay, so, if we can see, this blue line is also going from the midpoint, but it is not perpendicular. Hence, the perpendicular bisector is the one which is moving from the midpoint and which is perpendicular to the base. Hence, we have done with perpendicular bisector. Now, what is median though? Median is the line which goes from the midpoint. Okay, so is the case of perpendicular bisector, but it may or may not be perpendicular, okay, to the base. If it is perpendicular to the base, then we will form what? A an equilateral triangle or isosceles triangle. But in this case, a scalene triangle, the line which goes from the vertex, see, this is a vertex, to the midpoint of the opposite side is known as median. This can be same for this vertex also. So the median will go like this. to the midpoint of this side. Okay, so we will continue with angle bisector. What is angle bisector? Now we will focus on the green part. Okay, only on the green part. So angle bisector is that if we see this angle, okay, angle of this vertex, if we divide this angle into two by this green line, and this green line goes to the opposite side, then it will form angle bisector. Okay, got it? Now what is the height of this triangle? Height can be seen as if we make a line from the vertex of the triangle to the base, and it should be perpendicular. Okay, if we see the perpendicular bisector, if it goes moving toward the vertex, see this is not the vertex. If it goes move toward the vertex, the maximum height will be the altitude. If we go further, then its height will decrease. So the maximum height of the perpendicular bisector is altitude. Okay. Now we will come to the theorem. Any triangle video is incomplete without Pythagoras theorem. Okay, it was given by a famous mathematician Pythagoras. So in this theorem, we can see that if we take a triangle, let us say A, B, and C, having right angle at angle A. So the square of altitude and square of base will be equal to square of hypotenuse. Okay, so uh, this theorem applies only in the right angle triangle. So you can see BC square, that is hypotenuse square, equal to AB square, that is base square, plus AC square, altitude square. This is your Pythagoras theorem. Now, what is the area of triangle? If we were asked what is the area, then what it will be? This will be half of base into perpendicular. Base, this is base, and the height according to this base. Okay, let's say you have this side and height from this side. Okay, this line goes from here to here, making perpendicular with this side, and you know this side. So the formula will go the same. Half of base. Base will be this side, and height will be the given that is to you that's perpendicular to this line. Similarly, in this case, it is equal to half of base into perpendicular height. Now, the triangle inequality theorem. What does this say? The sum of any two sides will be equal, will not be equal, will be greater than the third side. Okay, always be. Sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the length of the third side. Means, if we see, if we take A plus B, okay, it will always be greater than the third side. See, take any triangle. Okay, if we see, if we say, if we take side A plus side C, it will always be greater than side B. Okay, similarly in the third case. Now, what will be the real life applications? So in engineering and architecture, we use triangles. Okay, like if we want to know the height of buildings, we use trigonometry and various form of triangles. In navigation and mapping, we use triangles. In art and design, we use triangle. Even the most primitive designs, like worldly art, use triangles. And in the most modern techniques of finding height, we use trigonometry. So triangles are not out of date. These are always in the book. And in the conclusion, we have seen the types of triangles by side and angles, important properties and theorems, applications in real life. And from where we have taken this, we have taken this from 6th to 8th NCERT books. and the various websites like byju, and we have mentioned it in our video also, the various websites. That's it from my side, and it's Saurabh Minhas signing off. Thank you very much.